This is going to be a roller coaster. I'm excited.
So should we watch your video?
Yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay, let me set up. Yes. Okay. So, do you guys know the store Eides? Have you ever heard of that little mom and pop shop around the way? It's
Uh, I I have been going to Eides since about '86, where I first went to get an autograph from the members of Megadeth. We succeeded in doing it twice.
I hate that your
The
stories are cooler than mine.
Nah, like the cooler part of the story was we were blown away because Eides in downtown Pittsburgh is just like a block or two away from what we thought was the world's only two-story Burger King, and we were blown away that this Burger King had a second floor, and like we'd order and we'd have to eat upstairs, which we did twice that day because it's a two-story Burger King.
Yeah.
Fucking cool, right? You know,
Yes.
teenagers. But anyway, after we had got their autograph twice, like we recycled in the line and got like another piece of paper signed. We were walking away, like, oh, that was really cool. And they come walking down the alley. This is before they moved to their big stop further down the strip. It was like a small shoebox size store.
Okay.
And they were walking through the alley talking about, hey, you guys come to this show? I'm like, no.
Let the bodies hit the floor. 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 Beaten, wild for. Can't take much more. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me.
Okay. So, Eides is a three-story. For those who give a shit, the bottom story is like comic books, like every comic book ever made. The second
Yes.
story is all music. And when I say all music, it's like everything from like industrial to like metal, as Hammer pointed out, to everything, just like house music. And then the third story is like a combination of books and movies. And the movies are like go from maybe some mainstream to insanely obscure. The point is they have these sales. I got like there was a before Princess Mononoke was like released in America. I got like a Japanese version for like 25 cents on VHS. So they would have this box hidden in the corner of the store, and in this box had a movie from it was made in 1978, I believe, and it was called Fairytales. And I figured since we're all here, talking about children's stories and whatnot, I figured this would be very appropriate to share with you something that I'd watched many times in my college days.
Is this something that you did a tribute to at one point?
By tribute, do you mean jerk off?
Yep.
Audio.
I don't need audio.
Today you must become a man. You're going to be a schmuck all your life.
I'm on a quest. If I can't produce an heir, I lose my kingdom.
There's a prince walking in the woods who has a hell of a problem with the ladies. I think I can help.
You can't? And that was fantastic.
You'll feel the magic in me, I'm telling you, baby. Ooh, you feel how good love can be when I'm spelling you, baby. You'll feel the magic in me, I'm telling you, baby.
DMCA strike.
Ooh, you feel how good love can be when I'm spelling you,
He's
baby.
got bigger problems.
There is so much
I'd
that I
buy
left
a
out
piece
of
of
that.
that action.
Now it's a 70s movie.
Yes. What happened to that? What happened to that? There was a time when we've talked about this before, where they had scripts and production. This had a music soundtrack. I bet you if you dig hard enough, you'll find an LP somewhere buried of that soundtrack somewhere.
I think, and I don't want to serious this up too much, but I think that was like shortly after like Deep Throat became like a big deal, even though it was a triple X picture. So they still wanted to release our stuff, so it'd have lots of titties and sex, but they'd have the money for like an actual budget. I downloaded what Josh had mentioned last week, Flesh Gordon. I haven't watched it yet. It's a real movie. I read up on it. They wanted like $1 million budget from the distributor to do it. They were serious about it. And they did such a good job. They actually had to change some of the marketing because the owners of Flash Gordon were pissed off and thinking about suing because it was no longer satire. It was so good it was confusing.
I actually
it was
noticed
just another way to work in lots of titties into a movie for drive-ins mostly, I think.
Yeah.
when I watched that back again, I noticed that at the end of the trailer, there was a disclaimer that said not to be confused with the original Flash Gordon. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. When yeah.
Yep, they had to add that in. So like, there's probably more of these out there, and I think it'd be fun to explore them. There has to be more than just these two. I'm hoping of quality, but just a bunch of titties in a movie.
Wouldn't that be fun if that's what this turned into? Was the three of us watching bad porno together and talking shit on it?
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's an idea we should have came up with. I don't know, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Advice, I'll have to mention it tomorrow or something. I know there's 3 of them now, and it's filmed well, but it's just. If I hear gunshots, I don't know. Is he fucking with us?
Fingers crossed for the gunshots.
Yeah.
Then we can finally take that deal that that record company's been offering us if we dump him.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh, Jesus! All our problems solved in one shot.
Sorry,
Hey,
my
welcome back.
neighbors were celebrating the 30th of June at 8:40.
Top-selling children's book authors of all time with the most books on that list.
Can I go
So-
first, Hammer?
Only if you don't say Dr. Seuss.
Well, my screen froze, so it doesn't matter. No, this is really simple. I got all these books, so I'm gonna say How I Would Have Done It by O.J. Simpson. Number 1, go. Number 1. It's
Okay,
number 1 on the
well,
list.
you actually did freeze that time, and you're wrong. But I did put one on this list just for fun, and I think that because O.J. Simpson ties, I'm going to give you 1 point.
Right.
Which was Stephen King with 0 books on that list, tied with O.J. Simpson. So 1 point to Zazz.
All right.
The rest of these are in fact true.
Okay.
So Hammer, what do you got?
So these are people who have released and sold or are selling children's books, and they've sold many of them.
In the top 50 children's books ever sold, these people are all in that top 50. These are from the most books sold to the least. Or
I'm going with the
Yeah.
lyricist for Dr. Teeth, Shel Silverstein.
Mother
Shel
of God.
Silverstein is going to
Dr.
get
Hook.
you
Dr. Hook, sorry.
3, 4, 5 points. You're going to go number 5.
Damn it.
And he tied. Shel Silverstein has 3 books in the top 50. But he tied.
Okay, so-
Interesting thing about Shel Silverstein, he looks like a nightmare that Stephen King would write about.
He's so accurate.
He's scary as fuck. I was a middle-aged teen when I flipped. My dad had it in the back seat of the Giving Tree for some reason. I flipped the book over, scared the fuck out of me. That picture's gonna be like right up here.
He's a
I'm
ghoul.
telling you, he's a scary looking motherfucker. But it's your turn, Mr. Zazz.
Yeah, it's he's a ghoul, and he
1
used to hang out at the
1
Playboy
second.
Mansion. Yeah.
I'm giving Hammer a total of 9 points because tied with Shel Silverstein. So 4 points was P.D. Eastman. Both
Why do
had
I get that
3
point?
books on the list.
Oh,
P.D. Eastman
okay.
was the protege of Dr. Seuss. He animated for every major studio you could imagine, and did a number of his own books. The first of which I think was "Are You My Mother?"
Well, didn't Maury Povich turn it into a successful TV series?
No, that's "You Are Not the Father." Very different.
Oh, similar though.
Yeah.
You are not.
I don't even know how to follow that. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Dr. Seuss that way.
Well, yeah. Obviously, you get 8 points for Dr. Seuss. If I can find it,
I
there
mean,
we
if
go.
you want the gimme points, you go right ahead.
Oh, I already did O.J. Simpson.
only-
I think that was my
Wait,
deep cut.
I will-
No pun intended.
If Josh, if you allow it, I will give Zazz the ability to make 1 extra point if he could tell us Dr. Seuss's real name.
Seuss. He did a movie, and it was his only time they let him do a movie. It's called the 54 Fingers of Dr. T. I think it's called. It's a live action flick about a kid who is being forced to learn piano, and he falls asleep and he wakes up in this imaginary world where teachers like take these toddlers and they force them to play piano. I feel like I talked about this on the show before. Maybe I haven't, but even if I did, I'm going to repeat myself. Shut up, phone. And basically, it was his first directorial debut. But the scary part is if you look, and all the children in the background, they're actually legitimately crying. Like, it's not like cry acting. Like, they are crying. They don't want to be there. It is borderline at best. I mean, it's...
Third floor dungeon. Household appliances. Spike beds, electric chairs, gas chambers, roasting pots, and scalping devices.
Well, they would
Yeah.
to get child actors to perform on cue. They did the same thing they did with Mr. Ed. They just put electrodes on their testicles.
Right. And they probably deserved it as well. I mean...
I figured they just let all the kids
Other-
listen to Zazz try and pronounce the word debut.
Oh.
Another little known Dr. Seuss fact is he wrote a book about boners. Look it up.
Another little known Dr. Seuss fact is that Zazz actually does a really good impression of Dr. Seuss. And I just put in the Discord window a real quote from Dr. Seuss. I was hoping maybe Zazz could recreate for us with his Dr. Seuss impression.
No, I'm not going to say that at all. No, I'm not going to say that at all. But right now, when the Japanese are planting their hatchet... No, let's not do that. No, let's not. No, I don't want... I quit. Nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. But right now, when these are his words, by the way, are planting their hatchets in our skulls, it seems like a hell of a time for us to smile and warble, brothers. It is a rather flabby battle cry. If we want to win, we got to kill his words. Whether it depresses John Hayes Holmes or not, we can get palsy ballsy afterward with those that are left.
Wait, we can't say Japanese. Son of a bitch.
It's the
Goddamn
other
bleeding
J
heart
word.
liberals.
Yeah, so that
I thought
was
like,
Dr.
it was like
Seuss
Jewish and
expressing his support for Japanese internment camps. That was his defense for that. And as we all know, in the past year, Dr. Seuss was very much a racist and towards
Just to the
Asians. Not great. Anyways.
No, that might get us in a little bit of trouble if we don't put some context to that.
We'll put his picture up. It'll be all right.
All right, so we have Dr. Seuss, P.D. Eastman, Shel Silverstein, and Stephen King. So clearly on this list, it would have to be... I'm going to say this, just because I know he liked to take credit for stuff. I'm going to go with Walt Disney.
I expected somebody would, and that's going to get you 3 points. Because Disney... But number 3, there we go. Waltler.
Waltler?
Oh, we're
Speaking
going
of
to get
Nazis.
another racist quote out of this one, I bet, yeah.
Oh, God.
No, I
damn
think
it.
he did enough for himself. But yes, he had one book, only one, in the top 50. But there you go. So Zazz, what do you got?
Oh, I'm clean out of children's books authors, so we're gonna just
You have a children.
Harry
yourself.
Potter. I have a children.
Yeah.
Um,
We started this, and you were very confident about. Okay, go ahead.
You were, yeah. You thought you were going to kick my ass.
No. How about the Lord and Savior Jesus? Because he bestowed a lot of parables onto us, and I imagine some of those might be on the top 10.
Did you ever read the fucking Bible? It's a nightmare. If you put that in front of a kid, your kid's getting taken away from you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. A lot of
rape,
incest.
murder, killing of entire towns, men, women, children. Save none of them.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Jesus
Ha
Christ. Okay, yeah. All right. It's like that motherfucker knows how to read the room. He knows where we're gonna go with this shit.
Yes, the children's Bible was on the list. So
You are absolutely
Jesus friends.
fantastic.
There you go.
Mhm.
And we've got.
You got
two
any more
left.
anti-Semitic quotes out of that book you want us to read?
No, it's we got. It's all right. There's 2 pretty
This
obvious
one's fairly
ones left.
pro-Semitic until the end. I'm gonna wait. Let me just guess. The fucking man, that Clifford the Big Red Dog motherfucker.
Didn't make this list. He may be in the top 50, but he's not here. Zazz?
All right.
Is there a Jim Henson book or like a Sesame Street book?
There is not, but here, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to say the name of a book that the next person wrote, and first person to give me the name, I'll give the points to.
Let me pre-guess. Hitler. I already know where you're going with this. It's going to be Hitler, and you're going to say he wrote some
David
kind of
Koresh. I'm going with David Koresh.
Hitler Koresh. I know.
Peter Rabbit?
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember there was some... I don't remember
Yeah.
the author.
All right. Nobody's
Some
going to
with
get
a B.
Beatrix Potter.
Beatrix Potter.
Oh,
Right.
I was so close. I got the B part of that 12-letter
Yeah.
name. Or fucking 15. Something like
I'm
Okay.
like scrambling to think of the
Clue to
Alice
the
in
last
Wonderland
person on this
author.
list is Beatrix's last name.
Harry Potter lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Harry Potter lady. Yeah.
J.K. Rowling, I said it first.
She-
Cheater.
So, the one thing I asked was that you guys both brought to the table 3 things. A character for a children's book, like a new character. A story idea or lesson or whatever you want to call it for a children's book, and a place or time or something where this location, a place that where this takes place. So what I would do next is ask Zazz, I guess, what do you have? What did you bring? What do you got?
Well, for the character, I was gonna go with the Little Lizard Now, this is a purely, just to make sure I'm on the right page, this is purely not joking. You want a legitimate children's book idea, plot, and character, correct? Like, I'm not saying O.J. Simpson. Okay, cool. Bill Cosby, Klonopin, a bottle of wine. Yeah, Little Lizard is the character. The story is the little lizard and how him and his friends stumble upon a cabin, and he abandons his friends to play in the cabin, and he gets locked in, and his friends have to break him out in the middle of the woods.
Hammer, what do you have?
Clayton.
Okay. And
Call
a
him Clay.
theme or a overall story.
Being lost and afraid and trying to find your way back to a parent. Specifically a parent. I don't want two parents. I don't want to like trap it into that world of everybody has two parents. And then we don't have to announce whether one of the parents is missing because of divorce or whatever. Just a parent. Like they could both be still married, but just a parent. And there's a reason for that, and that's just purely book sales, because I think you could get on the goddamn news channels by saying, and he just wants to get back to a parent, and you could teach a whole moral lesson that is highly profitable. So I'm going to go with that. Being lost, and then going through whatever little things that a little kid should or might think to do if they were lost to get back to this not binary parent. So I like the woods just because from a writing perspective, you could do anything you want with it. It could be dragons. It could be just the woods. It could be a scary forest animal that turns out to be a squirrel that, you could go anywhere you want with that location. That's why I like it.
Okay, so my character's name is Nobby Clungington, and the story is, why do my three daddies fight so much? And the location is a traveling circus. So, what we're going to do here is...
He started off from a really honestly sweet place. Then we went how to generate money off of children outright to my three daddies are violent. Man, we really fell off hard, guys.
You fuckers will buy anything if it shuts your little twat or booger-headed cunt the fuck up. You will spend money on it. I can tell you right now you're an idiot for buying my book, and you will buy my fucking book.
That is a direct quote from J.K. Rowling, by the way.
J.K. Rowling. Exactly. Thank you for guessing that, yeah. He, her.
So, I really like where you guys are at here. I'm going to explain that a bit more in a second. But Zazz, round 1, I'm on random.org. You got a 5. Hammer, your roll is a 1, and my roll is a 5. So Zazz and I are going to go again. Zazz, you have a 3. I have a 6. So, our main character is named Nobby Clungington. Now, Hammer, your roll is a 2. Zazz, yours is a 6. So, our story is that Nobby Clungington happens what, Zazz? What was your story?
It's a lizard that got lost in the... no, sorry. A lizard was with his friends in the woods, and they found a cabin, and he was like, let's go to the cabin, and they're like, no, and so he left with them. He's like, fine, I'll go by myself, and he goes in the cabin, the door locks, and he's frightened, and he needs the help of his friends to get him out of said cabin. So fear and loneliness, this says a lot about me.
And you both picked the woods, so there's no reason to keep going either way. Our story is a lizard named Nobby Clungington is lost in the woods and must find his way home. So, here's how we're going to do this.
Does he have to find his way home, or is he trapped in a cabin and has to
He's
friends
trapped.
get him out?
He's trapped in a cabin and has to make
Yeah.
his way back to just one of his parents.
Okay. All right.
So, what happens next
Carol.
is that between tomorrow and next Tuesday, you will both have delivered to your houses a 24-pack of brand new Crayola crayons. And I am going to draw the first 3 pages of this story and pass that along to Zazz, who is then going to illustrate and write the second 3 pages of that story. And then Hammer will get those and will do the final 3 pages of this story. When that is all done, we will get high-quality scans and release our book self-published on Amazon, as well as make a page-by-page reading of our book to release as a video for children. And I do mean this. This should be a book for children.
I want you to roll that die one more time for me. And if you don't like the idea, we can throw it out. Roll that die one more time because that's the age of the child we'll write for.
Okay. 4.
But yeah, but the one thing
Remember
we didn't
that
do
one time where you convinced that guy in that alleyway that you were a famous musician, and then you tried to get his mouth pregnant? That was pretty fun.
right at the end of a garden hose.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was this in September of 1994?
It was. That's amazing.